Hello again, guys. It's your buddy Greg, and what have we stumbled into today? Is it some sort of war zone? It looks like a war zone. No, this is the kitchenette service part. Well, technically part 2. I'll explain to you what happened. After I did my first kitchenette repair, you can follow that guide if you want. There's nothing wrong with that. It's just there's one little thing that I noticed. I thought I put a bunch of oil on the gear teeth, and I'm like, oh man, and I didn't know you weren't supposed to do that until after I made that video, and I thought, oh man, this clock's gonna tear itself apart from the inside, or it's gonna get all gunked up again, or it's gonna be a total disaster. So I took it apart, and I looked on the gear teeth, and I've just cleaned these. I didn't clean them before. I looked at them, I thought, oh, well, they look fairly clean. And after a bit of messing around, I put it back together. And what's interesting is around when the second hand would get to the number, get around the number 4, or get around to the number 2. Here, let me grab a pointer of some kind. I'll use this thing. When it would get around here, it'd be going along, and it would kind of jump forward a little bit, like as if something was, like as if it slipped in the gear or something. One of the teeth was like, as if one of the teeth was gone or something. And then it would continue on. It'd stop here for like a split second and continue on. I think it would do it again over here, something like that. Around this side of the dial, it'd be completely fine. And this was only when it was on the wall. When I took it off the wall, it ran perfect. So I don't know if something's getting stuck up in the gears there somewhere now. Somehow I may be taking it apart, offset some old grease or something, and now it's jamming up the whole thing. Oh yeah, and the dial's glued back on now. That happened. So, I mean, it was originally glued on, so I'm not like I'm destroying it or something. Here's the rotor. I just cleaned this, and I'll show you the gear teeth. Everything needs to dry. I got the fan here. I got the mineral spirits here. I just cleaned everything. And yeah, we'll have a closer look at the gear teeth. Another note, the problem area, as I said, I'll just rephrase this. It was mostly around this side, here to here. I have no idea why that even happened. But anyway, let's actually have a look at the gears now. I was working fine before, basically, and then I had to come in and think, oh, it's gonna tear itself apart, even though there was almost no oil on the gears. And yeah, so that's how that happened. Here are the first 2 gears. These ones haven't been cleaned because these are riveted on. Oh, sorry, I'm not even in focus here. These 2 are riveted on, so you can't really clean these. Well, you could, but the dial is glued on there now. I didn't come up with cleaning the gears and everything when I put that on, so I glued it on before. You've missed some parts of this little expedition here, but yeah, I guess this is the second repair. Saving the kitchenette for myself. 2 gear. I don't know how we're gonna look at these. Let me grab the torch or flashlight. I'm not really sure if you'd call it a flashlight or torch. No batteries in this thing. It's electric. How can I get in there? Hold on a second. Around and trying to get a good angle to see how dirty or clean these gears are. I don't like touching the paper face on this, by the way, but I have to, I guess. There's the gears there. They seem kind of dirty. I mean, as you can see, there's a bit of gunk in there. Or maybe that's just the lighting. I'll have a better look, and I'll have a look without the camera here because it's kind of offsetting me. Look, there's definitely something down there that requires removing, I'd assume, some sort of removing. I know, isn't it nice to have a model train table that doubles as a workshop? Even though I already have one upstairs. I'm repairing a baby Ben upstairs. I just need to get some proper spring lubricant or oil or grease or however that's gonna go. Now that we've looked over there, sorry about the fan, by the way, if you can hear the fan noise, just because I was using mineral spirits down here. Anyway, so now that we've looked over there and seen that those ones are somewhat dirty, I have not cleaned those particular ones yet. Here's the plate. Here's the back plate. This has been cleaned out. This is my little mineral spirits tub here. It's a food container. I know, what a great system, hey? This is an iPhone box. I'm sure most of you recognize something like this. You can use these for jobs like this. I don't know, I find them pretty handy. Just saying, and any other lids and containers. So anyway, let's have a look at these gears now. So here's the main gear train here. This is for operating the second hand, I believe, or no, this one directly correlates with the rotor. I'll have a look at the rotor gear in a second here as well. We're just gonna look, because as I said, I cleaned these already. We'll see if there's anything left on there that needs to be. I'm gonna use the phone light. Sorry about that. More convenient. The phone has a light on it. You might as well use it. Here's what some of the grease was, or some of the gunk or whatever it was. These were coming out of the gear teeth here, but now it shouldn't be doing that much anymore. I'm trying to get a better shot of this. Oh, right there. That's a decent place to put it. All right. I'm working with small things here, viewers, so that's why it's kind of inconvenient at times. Can I turn this? Well, just by looking at it, you can tell that, especially in this gear here, there's no real gunk or not much in there. Well, if you're wondering what that is, I don't know what that is. I think it's like I don't know what that is. If that's an oil stain, it won't come off. I don't know entirely what that is. Because it doesn't really matter. It doesn't seem to affect the operation of the clock. It was like that when I got it, so. We'll zoom out. Yeah, but looking at those, and I'll have another look at this after, but this gear here seems to be fairly clean, looking at those teeth. If I hold it up to the light here, maybe we'll get some better results. Maybe the phone light's tampering with it, just to focus here. Let's have a look. Yeah, you can usually see some kind of dirt or grime or something in there, in between the gear teeth, and I don't see anything. Yeah, it looks pretty clean in there. Other than, of course, my finger oil's getting on, which I don't think really affects it all that much. Here's this gear here. I know this is the arbor. This is part of the motion work. These two gears here are the motion work. This sticks into the back of this here. So that's how that works. We'll look at this one. I haven't tested this yet. I tested it before I cleaned it, and as I said, it was getting stuck around that one part. So I don't know what's up with this and why it would get stuck only when it's hanging up on the wall. It's kind of bizarre. It's the bizarrest problem I think I've seen in a while. It's kind of reminiscent of the dollar watches where they'll only run dial side up, but when you, or how did that work again? I can't remember how that worked. They only run a certain way up or something like that. Is this gear here? I'm not using the proper terminology for these entirely. Let's have a look here. I don't see much of nothing to get stuck on in there. I'll have a look at this. We'll turn the light on. It's kind of a rough and ready video, but as you can see, there is something in there, but I don't know if that'll jam up the entire. I'll get that out in a second. There's a bit of grease in there. You can see just a little bit. Let's have a look at the teeth, see if anything's coming out of there. Nothing to get. Bizarre. I believe this little gear here correlates with the rotor. I'll have a look at the rotor now that I speak of it. Also, I'll try and clean that out with a toothbrush. Try and get that out. Get what's left of that out. Let's see if there's anything left in there. There's a little bit. What the heck? Probably shouldn't use an older toothbrush for this. Try and do something like that. See if it'll. I don't want to strip all the gear or the teeth off in the process. Seems pretty clean right now. I don't know. I don't know if this is helping it all that much. Try it like this. I'm not sure if this is a good method to use. I've never seen anyone else do this. I mean, toothbrushes probably have been used in the past for various things. Clock-related things, other than, of course, brushing your teeth. I'm not getting a great shot of this. Yeah, this is the most confusing little repair. I have no idea what the kitchenette would be getting stuck on. Now, I ran it for a few hours. It didn't lose a minute, even though it was getting stuck, which it shouldn't. And I'm scared it'll kind of wreck the gear train eventually if it keeps doing that. I don't know if it's... obviously, it wasn't meant to do that when it was new. And it didn't do that for the longest time, and I have no idea why it would suddenly do that now. See if there's anything in this gear here. I know it's not in focus. Okay. Yeah, it's the oddest little problem, and I'll reassemble it and I'll show you guys what happens here. That is if it'll still do that. I don't know. Maybe I've solved the problem by getting stuff out with a toothbrush. This isn't really much of a how-to, not like the other one. Oh. Who knows? I don't know if anyone else has this problem with their electric clocks. It's not the rotor, by the way. I looked at the rotor, and it's not the one, it's not stopping. It continues to turn. And even when it is stopped, you can still hear the electric hum in there. So the rotor's in good condition. It's good enough to run. Nothing wrong with that. Okay, we'll move on now. And it looks pretty good right now. Looks pretty good. Getting the cord all tangled up here. Mamma mia. Knocking everything over. Sorry about the fan noise in the background. I don't know if that's affecting the video or not. Probably turn this off now. Oh, that was the worst camera angle you've ever seen, considering it was zoomed in. Just try and scrape something out with a toothpick here. Sorry, I'm going off focus all the time. A bunch of dirt used to come out of here. Now nothing comes out. So I don't know if that's just gear wear or what that... Yeah, nothing's really coming out of there now. So now that we've had a look at the rotor, and all these other gears seem to be clean, we'll have one last look at them right now. I know this area is a mess. I'll clean this up. Don't worry about it if you don't like the mess. I don't really like the mess. Are you kidding? Yeah, that seems pretty good. Yeah. Yeah. Nothing seems stripped. I would notice if there are any stripped teeth by now. Why does this flashlight have so many different functions? I don't understand that. This one's also seeming pretty good as well. I'm trying to get... Sorry for the screwy... It's kind of a screwy video today, isn't it? I've certainly done better videos than this, but... Lots of jump cuts today. Yeah, but it seems pretty clean. I mean, there's nothing to jam up a movement in there. Those teeth are cleared, because there's nothing wrong with those. And now that the rotor's cleared... Really, the only problem area, well, who knows, maybe I've already corrected it, but maybe the only potential problem area is that one over there. And we'll have a look at that. One who cares enough about what these cups are. These are Little Caesars Pizza Marinara Sauce cups. They're handy. They come with lids. They're really handy for this stuff. Anyway, let's have a look down in there, or try and have a look down in there. As I said, they're riveted together. I don't really like riveted gears. You can't get them off. Kind of a, I don't know, it kind of hinders the repair. Maybe this clock was never really meant to come, even though it does. I don't know if this was ever meant to be fixed 50 years, 60 years down the line. Anyway, let's have a look. Yeah, this is the best I could come up with to get some sort of dirt out of this thing. Just jam it in there. And there's no way I can do this through the camera, or hold in the camera. I need two hands to hold this thing usually. Well, there's the best shot I can possibly give you here. Right in there. Now it's in focus. Just very, yeah. As you can see, there is a bit of grime in there. Just a little bit. I don't think that'll affect too much of how the clock operates. Also, if you have no idea what this gadget here is, a knob sticks into this. And that's how you set the time. This little gear here. So that's how that works. I apologize for my crappy camera angles today. I know I've got the Lego tripod here, but trying to do shots like this where everything's way down in here, kind of harder to do, and especially when I'm pointing at stuff. There's a piece of Scotch tape here. I gotta get that off. So after jamming that thing down in here, and there's no possible way this is getting cleaned from the back side. As I said, they're riveted on, so that's the end of that. I guess it's time to start reassembling this. I don't know what else I should do. This seems dry. Have another look. See if anything comes off. Nope, nothing there. That's old. Yeah, seems we're pretty ready to go back together here, and I won't oil this thing quite yet. And yeah, we'll go back together, I guess. This is how the gear train goes together. It's not very complicated. Then the back plate goes on, then the rotor goes on. Some of you, this may seem quite comical looking. I know I kind of find it funny, but this is the clock with no case on, and I didn't put the other hands on. I only put the second hand on. And yeah, so I placed it in a spot. This is when the problem area ends. So we'll plug this in now. Plug the mineral spirits fan out. Plug this in, hope it doesn't start a fire. And away we go. There's not oil on this thing yet. Just wanted to get a separate shot of it running. So here we go. This is the fine area, as I said. And we'll see what she does as she goes along. If it does work right, I will oil it. If it doesn't, we'll see what happens, I guess. Someone knows. If it's slowing down. Nope, we're good still. We're not past the number 2 yet. Here's no man's land coming up right here. Oh, it just did it. Did you see that? Oh, it's doing it. Look at that. Oh my gosh, that's horrible. Holy cripes. Jeez. Well, there it is, folks, right there, and right in the problem area. That's what it's been doing, for those of you who wanted to know. Well, I guess no one wanted to know now. It'll do a second shot. I wonder what's wrong with this thing. It's really bizarre what's happening here, and I don't know what's wrong. As I said, there's nothing wrong with the gear teeth. Yeah, we'll get a shot of it going around. Still going good. I wonder how this even, I don't even know how this happened, honestly. I wasn't being super rough with it to the point where you couldn't even, oh, here we go. See, look at that. Oh my gosh. Look, it just stopped. It's not like it's not like there's dirt in this either, because as you know, I just cleaned it. Mamma mia. Well, anyway, that's that for you. If anyone has any ideas what's the matter with this thing, please comment. I'll show one more time, and I'll show the gear train as well. I doubt this is because there's a lack of oil, because this thing was running with oil on it, and it was doing the exact same thing. I have no idea how this happened, by the way. It wasn't doing this for the longest time. I mean, it shouldn't be doing that. That's not what this clock was designed for, or meant to do. It's like a gear, like a certain tooth is stripped or something. Let's see a little bit. See, that's jumping around. I don't know what to say there. Yeah, we'll go get the torch, and we'll see what the gear train's doing. Okay, so now we're past number 6 here. Let's turn it up to the maximum brightness. You know what? I need to get my. Hold on a second, viewers. Oh, damn it! I can't read. Okay, hold on. This is the only way it'll fit. We are now just about to pass number 2. Just about almost. We just passed number 1. Okay, we're at number 2. Going by number 3. Oh, look at that. What's that? Looks like there's a nick in the rotor there or something there. What is that? Is it gone? Cripes, maybe it's the rotor gear. Maybe the rotor gear is potentially shot. I know how to get other rotors for this. You go and get an Ingaraham wafer clock. And that's kind of the same idea as this. How did that happen? How did the rotor get shot? Well, now it's running fine. Who knows, maybe the gearing's all screwed up. I have no idea. Okay, we're gonna pass number 2 again. Okay, we're on it. Going by number 3. Oh, number 4, we just stopped again. We're going at number 4. We're going again. Isn't that the weirdest problem you've ever seen? Well, maybe not the weirdest, but it's the bizarrest thing I've seen in a while. Sorry for the sideways camera again, viewers. If anyone has any idea what's wrong with this thing, please let me know. This clock was in my kitchen, and it looked really good in there. As you can see, here's the cover for it. You've all seen the kitchenette before, if you watch the other video. Who knows? I don't know if the rotor gear's stripped. It almost seems like it is in one spot. I don't know. It's quite bizarre. This is, I don't know if something's stripped in there or not. And if it's stripped, how did it happen? Because I wasn't being extremely harsh with this thing. Who knows? Maybe it's a freak accident. I don't really know. But anyway, viewers, that's my problem for you today. See if anyone has any idea what to do about it. Because if I can't figure it out, maybe someone else can. All right, viewers. Well, that's just standard procedure around here, viewers. Just standard procedure.